And we're live! What is up, guys? How are you guys doing? Quick level check, just everybody let me know if you can hear me real quickly. I have got everybody's comments up so we can see exactly what's going on. I'm excited to hang with you guys today. Maestro Harlan's up on there as well, so we're already looking good. Give me 2 seconds, guys. Okay, and get my feed all sorted. All right, so TriplePlay. I guess the guys who've been following me on Instagram have probably seen this the most, although I have done some videos, and for me, it's been a pretty invaluable tool because obviously guitar's my main instrument, and although I have keyboards here in the studio, I have a Native Instruments one right over there and some synths and various things that you can, play as keyboards. Thanks, Justin, over on Facebook. Cool. All right, looks like all the comments are working and the audio is good. Thanks for that, guys. So like a lot of you guys, maybe that are guitarists, I have synths, but I kind of suck at playing keyboards. It's just not my thing, So I'd much rather pick up my guitar that I feel comfortable with and play some stuff. Now, I did load an orchestral sound up just to start off with because everybody's like, I think everybody wants to just go like, everybody wants to play the silly stuff, but it is a lot of fun. Yo, Robin, thanks for tuning in, everybody. Cool. So what I have today is the TriplePlay wireless. Now, I'm sure we can probably get a bit of a closer look on this one. There we go. Now, this one is obviously connecting to my computer wirelessly right now. And the cool thing is my computer is like way over there. I don't know, maybe like 20 feet or so. So it's a good distance. So I guess if you wanted to shred out and do crazy stuff on stage, you kind of could. But for me, I'm not going to be kind of doing, I don't know, you never know. I might be doing crazy stuff on a stage, but for me, I've used it so far for things like the School of McRock backing tracks where I want to get some chord progressions by keys and I just can't do it. And all that sort of fun stuff. So I have both versions of TriplePlay here today. Yo, Gypsy Cat, thanks for tuning in. And also, I can add you lovely guys to the comments, to the stream rather. So if anybody's got some awesome questions, we've got Robin in the house, a School of McRock member, lots of the guys here. So thanks for tuning in, everybody. So the other version that I have is not wireless. It's called the TriplePlay Connect. Now with this one, it is obviously connected to my computer. The cool thing is, it's just ready to go. You can have them both on. You can turn the sort of wireless one off and just turn it on and instantly. In a second, it's just ready to go. But I thought what we would do is, let me show you how I use TriplePlay in my sort of day-to-day sort of setups when I want to use it. And then we can go to some questions and yeah, well, I think Ian, how was the tracking? That's a great question because it's like the first question that anybody's going to ask. I said Ian, it's Mark on Facebook. What's the tracking like, right? So let's go back to the wireless one for now. And we'll load some sounds, we'll play around. I've got some beats ready, some different types of moods for you guys, so we'll see what happens. So going back to the wireless one, we've had our fun with the orchestral stuff. Now, I mean, just that alone, like I could never figure out like that on a keyboard. It would just, I can't even, just because I've been playing guitar for so long and it's just like, that's my thing, right? So let's get rid of the orchestral sounds, okay? Let's do something fun. Hey, Chris. What's up, everybody? So when I'm looking to the right, by the way, I'm reading your comments, so I'm not like kind of just looking at my window, looking out for flying birds or anything like that. So yes, and also I should mention that we do have, as you can see in the comments right now, we do have the guys from Fishman on the line. Now we can bring them in a video. So if you know, if you guys go real techie and you think, and I think, oh no, that's probably way more advanced than how I use TriplePlay, we can bring the cool guys from Fishman into the stream, or they can also help out with the comments as well. So hopefully we'll get as many of your questions answered about TriplePlay as possible today, though. So let's start off with some beats, because that's often kind of how I start things off. So what I've done here as well is I can also just show you my actual Ableton session. Let me scooch down a little bit for you. So, bit of a funky setup. This is like what the guys over on School of McRock call the weatherman of guitar setup. But it's fun. Well, that's a good question, if there's any firmware updates, because I believe Fishman are working non-stop. So, let's get some beats going. Let's do this. Yeah. Kind of mid-tempo. I literally just, I threw these beats in like an hour or so ago, so I'm still completely new to what these beats are. But I think that's a good thing, because it gives you an idea like how you can write and create and kind of get inspired by TriplePlay as well. Because for me, all these tools are like, they're just, when I say tools, all these pieces of hardware and devices are things to get your creative juices really flowing. And playing things like bass lines, for example. Let's go with the bass line first. What have we got here? We've got some drums. We've got a bass line. So let me turn this bass line, well, the bass sound on. And let me get rid of, I don't want a Fender Rhodes sound, but I think in a bit that Fender Rhodes sound could be really cool for testing the tracking. I think we should push it early, push this thing to its limit and see what exactly it can do. All right, yeah. So when you're playing like with TriplePlay, for me, it's not always about blazing stuff. It's about note combinations, again, because I'm trying to come up with note combinations that I think would work well on synths. So let's just play the beat, and I'll play an A minor for this instance, and we'll come up with some cool stuff based around the arpeggio. So, Tony, no, this is not a pedal. This is an actual device that connects to your guitar. So right now, I have the TriplePlay wireless right here. So it's wirelessly connected to my Mac, which is way across the room. All right, let's try recording something. I'm just gonna loop it round and see what happens. Hey Tito, thanks for tuning in from India. That's awesome. I'm gonna try different modes, because there is actually different modes on this. Getting something that I kind of like now, because we'll build this up. We'll literally go, what we'll do is we'll put a pad over the top of it and then have a jam over the top of that. So let's get that recording and kind of build something pretty cool up. In fact, let's really go for it. Let's give ourselves a countdown, because if we have a countdown, we know it's official there, right? Okay, let's just loop that round. Let's go with it. See how that works. Okay, now let's get a pad. That's cool. Yeah, let's not mess around here. Let's go straight to the record button. Let's punch in some pads and just see what we can come up with. All right. Oh, we're recording over my lovely bass line. We can't have that. We gotta record on our own track. Robin, yes, it does. And that's a great question. Let me just add that to the stream. It does work with Guitar Pro. And the cool thing is you can record your parts as MIDI. And so, for example, I actually did a little bit of transcribing for somebody. So what I did was, I give my parts to somebody to transcribe. And I give them all the MIDI notes. And suddenly that meant the transcribing part was a lot easier. Because I guess like figuring out the notes and stuff like that is a real difficult thing. So using TriplePlay to get notation and stuff in the software is a fantastic use for it. I really dig it. You're thinking outside the box, Robin, and I like it. So we've got some pads recorded. Somebody mentioned earlier, how does it track? So I think this is where we should push the track in and just see what it can do. Chris, that is also a good question. Does it matter about the radius of the neck? Well, the cool thing is when you're actually setting it up, you get these different kind of spaces in the box. Now you can set it up in a number of different ways, and also in the box you get this little handy tool. So I really recommend not skipping that part, because I'll tell you what happened. I didn't have my guitar tech and I just threw it straight on and kind of lined everything up. And to be honest, it actually worked pretty damn well. Like, seriously well. Then I spoke to the guys at Fishman and they're like, have you adjusted this? Have you made sure this is this angle and stuff like that? And I was like, is it going to make that much difference? So I got my little tool from the box, adjusted everything, and lo and behold, the tracking and everything was like a lot better. So if you do buy a TriplePlay, don't just where have I put the box? Where have I put the box? I put the box somewhere. Don't just throw the box in the recycle bin. Use the little tools in there and get the most out of it. Just takes a few extra minutes, but it's totally worth doing that. Cool. Yeah, that's a great catching up on your comments already. And also, I'll add the Fishman comment to the stream so everybody can check that out. So I'm going to try a couple of different modes. Oh, there we go. So, hey, thanks for tuning in. Is it Ang? Yes, what's up, buddy? Now, let's see how quick it tracks, because that's what everybody wants to know. Like, can it keep up with me? Will it beat me? Will I be defeated? Let's find out, shall we? So, okay. Now this is a Fender Rhodes sound. Okay, let's push this. Let's sweep. That's keeping up, man. That's keeping up. I don't think Fishman were intending it to be like a Fender Rhodes sound being swept so fast. I think we should keep going with this theme though, because I'm kind of digging it. Let's see if we could add some bigger sweeps and maybe some taps to this, because this is pretty funny, as in like how well it's tracking. Up, man. I mean, come on. Like when I'm doing sweep stuff like that. Now you can do all those jazz fusion lines. And that's what the Fender Rhodes sounds. So that's pretty funny. We need to do some jamming. real quick because there is different modes on this. I'm catching up with your comments as well, guys. Like that mode. Yeah, I think with the Fender Rhodes sound, that seems to be working better. Because it's re-triggering there, so when I do like a slide, I think that approach and that behavior seems to work better with that sound. So because you can actually adjust what hardware profiles it can output, and that kind of definitely works better with the Fender Rhodes sound. Maybe I guess more jazzy sounds. So pretty fun. Right. I think we need to move into something a little bit more aggressive, but first let's check out the comments. How do you coordinate my facial expressions with my guitar solos, Harlan? That is that's a big skill, and it takes many years of practice. What's the computer setup you're using? Derek asks over on YouTube. A 2019 iMac is what this is running on. Now, the iMac is under a bit of strain right now because it's running broadcasting software. It's running quite a lot of stuff. So, it seems like they're high, but not much ghost notes. Yeah, so I have both of these set up slightly different. What I'll do for you is in a little while, I'll actually plug it into an iPad that I have here, and we'll try some stuff with that. And that way I can actually show you the sensitivity stuff really quickly as well, because it kind of takes you through the setup. It's really, really, really fun. Yeah. Oh, thank you very much. Thank you. I do have a normal kind of guitar here as well, so... response time, Nicholas, I mean, in all honesty, I mean, I'm running like 128 milliseconds on my buffer, so that's giving me about 5 or 6 milliseconds latency, and even though this is wireless and shooting way across the room, I don't really feel it's really adding more than probably literally just a couple of milliseconds of latency, if that. It's really, really responsive. So when I'm repicking stuff like that, it seems like it's just all good. Yeah, Greg, that's a great question. I will definitely do something with that as well. TriplePlay with the actual audio of the string. That's a good question. It is a hex pickup, right? So I don't think it's like doing anything with the strings, because the strings feel just completely normal as I play. Obviously, I think with anything like this, you have to adjust your playing to be as cleanly as possible to be effective with it. So if you're going in kind of like strumming and going absolutely crazy, you know, the results might not be as clean. But for the most part, if you're aware of that, I'm not particularly kind of going out my way to play any more cleaner than what I would do normally anyway. And it seems to be doing kind of really cool. So, but it was a good question. So, I'm going to switch over to, turn this one off, TriplePlay Connect, and show you about that. So, let's go. So, TriplePlay Connect is this little guy. I actually got this not too long ago. I think it was like at NAMM. And at first I was like, okay, this looks cool, but I have a TriplePlay wireless at home, and it's like, okay, what's it about? But in the hotel room, I actually connected it to the iPad, and suddenly it was a lot more fun. It kind of made more sense. I was like, this is really cool, because there's some really fun stuff in the iPad app. Like you can trigger beats and audio clips and stuff like that. So I don't know if any of you guys have saw the recent videos that I did for Fishman, but it kind of pushes what you can do with it. And again, in a little while, we'll fire up the iOS app and try some stuff with that. It's a lot of fun, and it's like, for me, it's quite a, like, you can take ideas from it and then continue it back home. That's what I really like about it. You know, it's just like another fun element whilst you're on the road and stuff. So I gotta get rid of this road sound. I'm sick of this Fender road sound. The road sound is out. Let's let's move on to something a little bit more aggressive. Come on, let's get the breakbeats going, shall we? That's what we need. So what have we got? What have we got? Okay, I think I know what we're gonna do. Let's let me show you my Ableton session. Let me get rid of some stuff, and I'll show you something pretty cool. Yeah, that also is a very cool question. Is it Seth? Because you can actually, with the wireless, TriplePlay actually have this app. Fishman have this app, and there's actually hardware controls on it, and you can actually jump between different things. So, for example, you can go between your guitar and synth and mix, and in the software, it'll blend things. I mean, I like that. I think that's really cool because it's all in one app. But I also have like lots of different recording chains, so there's nothing stopping you at the same time just taking your analog output from your guitar, and we can try that in a bit too, and then just blending in some cool synth stuff with TriplePlay. That could be really cool, because then you get like that hybrid sound, which is really kind of exciting. I'm going to get rid of this little screwdriver because, you know, knowing me, I will have an accident. Yeah, Studio One Pro has some great sounds in it. Any DAW. I mean, I tried it with Cubase and it just plugged and played. There was no setup. I literally plugged the Connect into my Mac and it was right there. It was just completely, like, instantly. There was no setup at all. It was just like a plug and play keyboard. And the same with Ableton. So let me show you what I'm doing with Ableton, because I'm looking over here and you guys, you feel like you're missing out maybe. So let's go to Ableton and let me show you a little bit about what I'm doing here. Jackie, I think it's absolutely worthwhile to get one, because I think even if you have it like me, I have my TriplePlay Connect or wireless just to the side of my desk, and then I'll play some track idea and I'll be like, it would be really cool if I had this synth line or this chord, like a pad thing going on in the background, and I wouldn't, you know, want to sit there and draw those notes in and copy my fingers. You know, it's just like, that's just, I wouldn't have the patience for that. But to grab my guitar, which is equipped with TriplePlay, and just go play it right in, suddenly it's like, it's just, it speeds everything up. Oh, this is quite cool. So what we got here is actually Synthmaster. Now, some awesome news for you guys. Let me just get Synthmaster over here because it's right on my other screen at the moment. Woo! So right now, this is a recent addition to the bundle. You actually get Synthmaster included, and it's got some really cool sounds. I think I just loaded up a nice little soft pad. So I'm gonna just roll something like that. I'm gonna put the drum break on. I'm gonna build this one up. And this is I think it's going to be a little bit more aggressive, but let's try this. Okay. Jackie, by the way, I think all this stuff is good on Windows as well. It's not like Mac exclusive. Just caught that question out the corner of my eye. Totally fine on Windows. None of this is like specific to Mac or anything like that. Get your TriplePlay wireless. In fact, my last machine until about a year or so ago was a Windows 10 based machine, and it worked absolutely flawless. So there's no problems on Windows at all. So let's just record this pad and see what we can do. So I am using Ableton. I'm just going to loop that section, give myself a 1-bar count in, and just roll some chords. Okay, so that's more of a background sound. Let's get something that's really, really, really juicy. There we go. Yeah, let's try something like that. I like that. In fact, I'm not even going to record this. I'm just going to jam around with that because I really, really like the sound of that. So let's do that. That was fun, man. So, again, just to reiterate, because there's no way in hell I would be able to play that on a keyboard. Even though the lines themselves are like just rolling lines, there's nothing crazy. Notice the big interval jump there, going from the A to the B string. So you can do those big interval jumps like a kind of synth sound as well. It works really well. So let me mute that background pad and just play a little bit with that break. That's really cool, man. So, I mean, that right there is like the basis of a track. Come up with like another section, a breakdown. We've got a full song. And it was like, you know, not much effort. So that's what I really dig about the TriplePlay. Jonathan, I might have missed your question earlier, so hopefully at the end of this, I'm sure we'll have more time where I'll just be eyes on the comments and trying to pick up as many questions as I can, because I think with TriplePlay, it's also very easy to get lost in it. It's like when you start playing around with these synth sounds with your guitar strings, it's like you get transformed into this other world, I guess. Bruce, yes, this is live. Absolutely live, so we are live for sure. And in fact, let me see if I can catch up with some of the comments right now. Guitar Bert, that's right. In order to use Fishman TriplePlay in front of a live audience, I would need to bring a computer or tablet to the gig. That is correct. But what is really interesting, right? All my last NAMM gigs, apart from a few where I was using some the Boss GT1000, I was using a MacBook Pro. So, and I wasn't the only guy there doing that, you know? So even people like using Kempers and Fractal was starting to be like outweighed by people just traveling around with a MacBook. So that is a more common way of kind of getting your live guitar tones than you would really imagine. And when you bring TriplePlay into that, it just means the software is ready to go. So, I mean, I really had great success at NAMM just using my MacBook for all my guitar tones and stuff, you know. So look at who we have in the house, Mr. Rob Cunningham on Facebook, the man himself. What a legend. Hi Rob, thanks for tuning in. Yes, I mean, like anything, Seth, that's a great question. You know, the lower the latency, the better, generally, and Thunderbolt audio interfaces are typically very low latency, so it's always a good idea, I think, to kind of invest in a good quality audio interface. It really, really helps. So, yeah, if you can play synths with low latency with a keyboard, generally, the TriplePlay is not going to add any perceivable additional latency, you know? So very fun. Chris, yes, that is a great question. Are the pickup brackets are the pickup brackets easy to get? You can I'm pretty sure, I mean, in the box there's a bunch of additional stuff, but in terms of like fitting it, it was super easy. And I'm sure if you can probably get spare parts from Fishman or any good retailer that deals with Fishman. I'm sure it'll be not a problem. Marvelous live stream. Thank you very much, Stuart. We appreciate you for hanging out. So, I was going to show you some of the cool sounds that's in Synthmaster. So, again, let me flip over to Ableton. Now, as I mentioned, when you get a TriplePlay, yes. Let me turn that bass off. You actually get, as a very recent thing, a very cool plugin with it, which is now on my other screen because I'm running two monitors for some reason. It's trapped on the other screen. I'd love to bring it over here. Let me see if that's possible. And if not, I will add another instance. And we'll get TriplePlay on the screen. TriplePlay, Synthmaster. So let me load another instance of Synthmaster. It's got some really cool sounds. Might just add a complete brand new instance. So let me add a new MIDI track. And oh, I see it was actually streaming to the other page. That's funny. We want to bring it over here. We want Synthmaster over here in the main page. So let me just drag that in. It's still over on the other screen. I wonder why. I would like it. Because it's very difficult to see. As it is, my other screen is literally way across the room. That's why I was so impressed with like TriplePlay, the wireless version, because it's like it's got a bit of distance to go. So I just want, oh, here we go. We've got it. It's got it. Because basically, you got to bear in mind what I'm looking at across the screen is like a computer, which is well, it's a good distance away. Everything's very small when it gets that far. So, okay, let me try this out and get you some sounds. So we've added a new instance. Let me just drag it onto this track. Oh no, not again. Don't do this to me again. We got a Synthmaster all over there. I wonder what happened to the other instance. Ooh. There we go. Okay, so let me browse through some of the sounds that's in here. So with the Synthmaster software, hit the browse button and you've got all these kind of categories, which is really cool. So if you want some bass sounds, got subcategories and different attributes that you can go through. Some nice, heavily synthy sort of things going on. And there's some really cool stuff in there. I really like the pads, so that sound that you heard before. Unfortunately, the synth sound is actually over on the other screen. Let me just turn back to that. That was a really nice pad. And, Okay, so let's see what's going on in the chat, because I can see the comments are going absolutely wild, and let me see if we can catch up a little bit on that for you guys. True, Andy. I mean, that is very fair question. Well, a comment actually, because I mean, this is not adding any additional overhead, and the synths themselves. I mean, Synthmaster actually is pretty frugal in terms of how much DSP that takes up. It doesn't take a lot. So if you have a modest spec machine, you don't need to be like 2020 maximum i9, 60 gig of RAM, all SSD. It doesn't need to be like that level of craziness, but I guess the higher the processor, you know, the faster you can run your, well, the lower the latency and stuff like that. So for TriplePlay, you need a computer or the hardware that converts USB to MIDI. Well, it actually is the interface itself. So you connect this to your guitar. So literally just goes straight on your guitar. And we have a USB cable right here that can detach. Now, if you want, we can just plug this straight into an iPad because it comes with a great iOS app. But right now, I just have it plugged straight into my DAW, plug and play, no setup, and it just kind of worked flawlessly. So, yeah. So, a lot of fun. So, I think we should move on to some more sounds. Let us move on. Ooh, wrong mouse. Wrong mouse. We got too many mice on this desk. I am catching up with your comments as I kind of load some different sections here as well. Very true, Guitar Bird. It is ridiculously affordable. I kind of realized that when I start playing around with it. If you like synthesis and synthesis engines, it's a lot of fun and very, very powerful. And the fact that it's included at no additional charge, I think that's a great move. And it covers a lot of different genres, so it's particularly good. I noticed it's got some really cool kind of heavy electronic stuff and some real aggressive dubstep sort of stuff. So very, very cool. That is included now. So I think that's a recent thing, so you should be able to get that. So. All right, scrolling, and there is many comments, so hopefully I will kind of get a little bit of a catch-up session, and hopefully also the Fishman guys are helping out as well. So, right, as it's the weekend, I thought we should finish out with some music stuff, with some high energy or higher energy kind of groove sort of stuff. So let me see what I just chucked some grooves and beats in. I was like, yeah, that sounds like the weekend. So what do we have here? Yeah, that's grooving. That's got something something happy about it. So what I kind of think is really cool. Let me just change sounds here for a second. And just to show you what I'm doing, I'm using Ableton, so I'm just turning a few sounds on and off that I've kind of just chucked together here. Nothing too crazy. This art bass, I kind of like the sound of. So what I kind of also like is the fact that note combinations on a guitar versus, you know, my keyboard knowledge, it's like, even though I don't need to play, maybe in this instance, a bass line that's so technical because it has an arpeggiator on it. So I can just play one note and it's doing that kind of cool rhythm thing. Jackie, I really dig Ableton. I really like Ableton. And it took me a little while to flip over it from my previous DAWs, but yeah. But at the same time, if you're comfortable with Reaper, Cubase, Logic, Pro Tools, you know, I think within reason, a lot of DAWs are all very competitive with each other when it comes to features these days. So, but I love Ableton, and my band, McRocklin Hutch, we work really closely together. So it helps that we can load the same projects and stuff like that. Yes, it is polyphonic. It absolutely is. There's actually a couple of different modes in them as well. So you can actually adjust between polyphonic modes, and you can do some really crazy things, like far beyond what I've actually pushed it to. You can do things like make all 6 strings output on different MIDI channels. And like, I heard that, and I was slightly mind blown, because I was like, oh, so you could have like a piano on the G string and a brass line on the B string. You could go wild. I was like, okay, that's cool, but I'm going to keep it a little bit more simple, you know, because like, I mean, it sounds like an absolute blast, right? But damn. But yeah, it's super capable. You can do monophonic stuff, absolutely cool for all those kind of lead lines and stuff. Speaking of that, we should do some fun stuff with lead lines. I think that, yeah, we should finish out with that. But also for chord input and all that stuff, all good. How about routing my Kontakt Libraries? There's no change. You know, if you have libraries and they are set up, you plug this into your computer, you can now play your Kontakt Libraries with Fishman, TriplePlay. It's that simple. So there's nothing else to do. You just plug it in and play your libraries. It's that simple. So that is the bee's knees. Yes, Seth. This is the bee's knees there. Split bass line and lead. Yeah, I can imagine that. That would be fun. So arpeggio. Yeah, let's go with something that has like a B. It may be like, I don't know, like a B and a D sharp in it. So it's kind of like a bit of a funky vibe. Let's try it. Let's do that. And I'll turn the brass off. Yeah, let's give ourselves that count in. We'll just roll it. It's all it takes. One take, and we're good. Yeah. Okay, so I actually was playing around earlier. I'm going to delete that line. I'm going to play some brass stuff because, you know, I think that funky vibe, yeah. That kind of vibe is what we need. Then we can shred. We can go nuts over the top of that. So let's try that out. 2. So one take straight through. Look at the this is really cool. Look at the notes. Notice how on the notes it's not got all these hundreds of thousands of ghost notes. With other systems that I've tried, man, the amount of notes that you need to clean up later in terms of MIDI editing, it's crazy. It's like delete, delete, delete. Oh, I didn't play that. Delete, delete, delete. But if you look at that Ableton recording right there, it's basically got all of the notes from just the chords that I played, and that is so useful when we're, let me get back to the front camera. When we are in that creative mode, we don't want to be hanging around. We want this to assist us, right? We don't want to be like, oh, that could have been cool, but oh, damn, now I need to do this. And it's like, So both of these takes, the bass line and the brass part, one take. No multi going around and editing. This is just as we played it one time. So let's jam over the top of that. What do we need? Yeah, let's try that. A little bit of funk stuff. F sharp? Oh, that's not a good note. That's my sticky hand. We could jam around that for like probably the whole weekend. Let's push this a bit harder. We need to, you know, finish on something that's got a bit more bite, I think. What we got? That's more like a brass sound. I mean, let's try that. Let's try some jazz fusions. You know when you hear those keyboard players and they're like, go. Let's try some jazz fusion stuff just for the fun of it. Jazz fusion stuff, but I'm really interested in pushing it further than that, although that was a lot of fun. Let's see what we have here. Ah, man. We've got some fun comments. Thanks for all the cool comments, guys. Yeah. Will it pitch bend smoothly or in step? Now, I'll connect it to my iPad in a little while, and I'll show you some different modes that you can do with it. Basically, yes, it can do smooth bends, and it can do, like, re-triggering as well. So it kind of depends what you kind of like, really. So. What have we got? No, we want more aggressive sounds than that. Okay. Do get it down. I have this thing where my, unfortunately, my VST is on the other screen across the room again. Oh, thank you. Great playing. That is it, yes. So there is different modes, yeah. So, I kind of like the pick attack, because I play a lot of, like, my style is not necessarily, I mean, I bend a lot, but I really like dynamics and stuff, and the thing that impresses me the most, I guess, is not, I mean, I love the fact that it can bend and you can put it in that mode, but I love the fact that it kind of keeps right up with me when I'm doing the fast stuff. That's what impresses me the most, because that's the type of stuff that I could never really get to actually draw in, you know? It's like, you know, it's really very impressive. So I'm just going to try and get my instrument back, because for some reason my instrument is on the other screen. And once I get that, I thought it would be really cool to see if we can maybe do some tapping. Do you think we should try some tapping? Do you think it's going to keep up with that? I don't know. So, give me a sec. I'm going to go and get the other screen instrument over here, because then I can load some cool sounds and show you that. So, cool. Okay, and that's good information, guys, as well. So, this is Jason helping out here. Pressing both buttons on the Connect controller will turn bends on and off. So, maybe we should try that whilst we just have that other sound loaded right now. So, what do we got? More of a... There we go. Turn off second display. Yeah, I know. Unfortunately, the second display is running a lot of the stream stuff. So, but there we go. That is turned on the other mode. So that is really cool. That's awesome. And it's also doing vibrato as well. Wow, look at that. Then we can change it back. fun. So before we plug in our iPad, I'm gonna try and just get one sound that can do some tapping, because that's got to be done now. Now that I've said tapping, we need to make that a thing. So give me 2 seconds, guys, and I will see if we can get some tapping going. Oh my gosh. I'll be back in a second. I mean, I suppose it doesn't need to be a specific sound, you know, we can use a different sound. So let me just load a different instrument, because I guess that one, running dual screens of one of the instruments that I was using for like a synth stuff is just hooked over on the other one. So that's fine, we can literally just go to a different sound. How responsive? Or is it mind-blowing? I mean, I guess you need to try one, in all honesty. But for me, just catching on your comment, it is very, very responsive tuning lane GarageBand. It's kind of as you would expect it. So, which is great, because like we did before when we recorded the bass line and recorded the pad, you don't need to go in and top and tail those MIDI parts so much. Obviously, you might want to, you know, shift things around, you know, because if we're music producers, we probably want to perfect things in some way. But for the most part, damn impressive, like seriously impressive. So, we're going to get rid of this brass sound. What are we going to go with? We want a nice lead sound. So let's load up Tim Hutchinson's favorite synth. Oh, really? We've got some hiss and echo? Let me check that out. Alright, is that better? Thanks for that. Thanks, Rob. Thanks for pointing that out, Scott. Hopefully that fixed it. Yeah, I just turned on an extra mic there for a second, so good spot, buddy. Alright, so what we got? Yeah, so we're using Diva. Let's see. Surely there must be some pretty cool lead sounds in Diva. You would have thought so, right? I want to like a real... Ooh, that's vicious, isn't it? I want to really... let me show you what I'm looking at here. I want a real vicious lead sound. You know, something that's good for tapping. Sounds. I would have thought like Diva would be really cool for lead sounds. Let's scroll back to the beginning. That's not bad. I mean, that's okay, but we need something a bit more, you know, meaty. That's not bad. We can do something with that. Let's try that with a track. So bend works, tapping works. That is awesome. So, how essential is a string dampener, asks Greg. Well, to be honest, it's not really essential at all. I mean, this can completely come off. I wouldn't say you need a fret wrap at all. I think for me with this particular guitar, I just kind of leave it on there just as habit, really. Like I kind of leave this clip-on tuner. And we can switch modes. Really, really cool. I like that bend mode though. Super cool. So guys, we've been streaming a little while. I think we're going to start switching over to maybe one of the iOS things, just show you how you can plug it in, and then also kind of catch up with all the comments, hopefully that I can still scroll back and see. So thank you very much, brilliant Derek, and everybody else that's had some great comments. Really appreciate that. And also for you guys taking some time out to hang with us and check out Fishman TriplePlay. I've had both versions of TriplePlay here today. I started off with the wireless version, which is awesome. You just connect straight to your, you get a little dongle in the box, connects to like your computer from a good distance away, as I found out today, which is really cool. And then the other version is the TriplePlay Connect, which is just plug it straight in your computer, plug and play, just works great. And you can also plug that straight into an iPad. So I have an iPad here. I think we should try it out. I think we ought to try this out. We ought to try this out. That's awesome. I mounted my TriplePlay wireless onto my Desktop Trem, and it moves with a bridge. So I get natural note bends. Wow. Yeah. Let's see what happens when I start transmitting my iPad live. We will see what goes down. We've got Cammy B from Well, he's joined us on Facebook, but if you guys don't know, Cammy B is an awesome shred guitarist, an artist for Sir and Friedman and Daddario, and he's a very nice dude. So thanks for tuning in, Cammy B. All right, now we are going to go and do something just off the cuff here. We are going to broadcast my tablet, and I'm going to try and bring this tablet into the stream. And I'm gonna actually plug my guitar into the tablet. What could possibly go wrong? But it's all about having fun, right? So, okay, so I'm gonna unplug the USB part, and Plux muted? What is Plux muted? I'm not sure what that means, buddy. Oh, okay. I will try and do that. So basically, we are now going to use this other cable, which is a little USB. Let me get a close-up for that. Little USB cable into a lightning cable. So pretty simple. Plug that into our TriplePlay. And the other end simply goes into your tablet. Now, let's see what happens. I want to share this with you guys. So let me load up, say, I don't know, like GarageBand or something. Let me try this. Whoa, it's working. Okay, that's cool. Is the PU power cable long enough for Gibson? Oh, the cable's pretty damn long, so yeah, I would have thought so. Okay, we need to unmute that. Let's try this again. Ready? Can you guys hear that? Let me know if you can hear it. We can do all sorts of... we've got like a soul organ. This is just GarageBand, so... Yes! Now, if anybody here can guess what that chord sequence is from, we're gonna do something special for you. Okay, that's a deal. Okay, here's the chord sequence in question. What is that chord sequence from? If you get it right, you're gonna have to send us a DM or get in contact with us, and we'll do something cool for you. Awesome. Thanks, Jeff. I'm still waiting to see if anybody gets that chord sequence right. So this is GarageBand. Obviously, you get GarageBand with like pretty much every iPad, right? So that means you have lots of different sounds you can play with. What we got? Hyper Dance. Let's okay, so let me see. I want some more classic. I mean, really. Oh, whirlies. Nobody's got it yet. Nobody's got the right song. We've got Jimi Hendrix. We've got Yes. Nobody's got it yet. I'm gonna give you another clue though, guys. And Facebook, anybody on Facebook hasn't even taken a punt at that song yet. So here we go. So Logan sound. You gotta guess what it is. Now let's go on a whirly and play the next section, the chords from it. You ready? Now this has got to give it away. Let me get a different sound, something like a pad. Oh, that's a bit too. No, Hollywood strings. Oh, Martin is on to something. Martin. Yeah, so guys, we need the song name. We've got the artist. We've got the song. We've got the brand. The band name so far. Oh yeah, sorry, that is it, isn't it? I mean, it's been so long since I played it. Focus, Sylvia. That is it. It is Sylvia by Focus. Good job, good job. So, Focus. We're just gonna see comments for days now talking about that. So, yeah, that's a difficult one because technically somebody got the song and somebody got the band right. Well, two people got the band right and one person got the song. So that's a difficult one, but we still have to sort something cool out for you guys, I'm sure. Okay, so let's forget GarageBand, okay? This is my desktop of my iPad where my kids are probably going crazy. Let's load up the TriplePlay software. Now, as soon as you fire this up, it's like, hey, what's going down here? You've just connected it, and it gives you some like little walkthroughs to how to set it all up. So you can do things like adjust the sensitivity. So you can do all that. I really like the fact that it's got a built-in tuner as well. So basically, if your pitch is going to be out with MIDI, then it's not going to work so good. So it's important to be in tune. So with this guy, we have, in this particular mode that I have here, we have a couple of different sounds. I can turn those sounds up and down. Turn that one up. Turn the tuner mode off. We can blend in those sort of ensemble strings, which is quite cool. Now, we can also bring in some loops as well, which is like a lot of fun. Stop that. Now you'll see this mode here. Is it called auto and trigger? Turn So if I turn those strings off, and then, I mean, this is just a sound that I loaded, by the way. There's lots of other cool sounds. We can actually click on synths and choose some more epic synth sounds. You've got different stuff. Oh, that's a fun sound. Let's just go with something, because I wanted to show you that. Not really a pad. Let me go with a different sound. I want to kind of get something that's a bit more of an aggressive lead sound for you. So right there we have auto re-trigger mode, and then the smooth mode, which is that bend mode. So right there from the app, I'm able to kind of change it from the re-trigger mode into an automatic mode where you can pick and then maybe bend. But right there, I've just turned it on to smooth. So just on the record button, you can see as I scroll through, it's stepped, auto, trigger. I put it onto that smooth mode. So there we go, that works. And I'm sure we could probably get like a Moog or something as well, and I don't know, a bit more of an aggressive sound from Moog, no doubt. There we go. All sorts of fun stuff. So there we go, guys. Let me jump back to my main view. What's up? So it does work. So, questions. What's everybody thinking? How can you import other sounds into TriplePlay Connect? Well, actually, you get some synth software, which is actually really cool. I can probably show you that. I don't really have it like set up right now, but let me go back to my Ableton software and Fishman. So you see this software here? This is this is the Fishman software. And with this software, you can actually assign different sounds to different channels. And also, that's where things like this become really useful, because you can actually have your guitar, mix, and synth actually become different things within that software, which is pretty cool. So right now, I'm kind of just using individual instruments inside of Ableton, stuff like that, because that's my normal workflow, and that's kind of how I wanted to kind of incorporate it into my workflow. But the Fishman software, which is included, allows you to do some pretty cool routing, which is a lot of fun. So yes, you can do that. Good question. Yes, it depends on your audio interface. So if, for example, you have an audio interface and that's just two outputs and you're using, let's say, your laptop to do all your guitar sounds, then you're either going to have to go in dual mono and give, if you want the PA guy to have an actual fader, or both of my audio interfaces here have two lots of stereo outputs, so 4 outputs, so I could give a stereo feed for my guitar and a stereo feed for my keyboards, and let front of house depend on the mix. So 2 different ways you could do that. But that's a good question. Yes, it works. Yeah, I mean, I had no idea how long this live stream would be. Fishman are probably like on the other end of this phone going, "Hey, McRocklin, give it up, stop it." But we're going to catch up. Does the Connect software run on iPhone? I believe it does. Yeah, absolutely. iOS, so any iOS device. So that includes iPad and iPhone. I'm pretty certain I installed it on iPhone. So, yeah. Tom, why does my TriplePlay interface look like that? I mean, they have updated software, maybe, but hardware, there's just the two versions as far as I'm aware, which is the TriplePlay Connect and also the Triple Play Wireless, which is the first one I was using here today. Just nice to not have any cables, but I wouldn't say cables in the studio is a particular problem since we have cables probably everywhere like most people. Okay, so guys, I don't know if let me just check with the Fishman guys to see if they had any specific questions that I can potentially help with. But we've caught up pretty much to the end of the comments, so thanks for hanging out with us today, everybody. Yeah, I'm right at the end there. Good vibes. Oh, you're doing a Focus tribute band. That's awesome. Yeah. Hero is doing a Focus tribute band in Japan. That's going to be fun. So let me... Oh, cool. Thanks, Tony. So let me check in with the guys real quick, see if they had any specific questions. And we'll get to it. Yeah, thanks for hanging out, Martin. If you guys have any specific questions as well, feel free to just let me know, and I'll do my best. Like I say, for me, the real fun thing with TriplePlay is that it kind of just worked for my workflow. So let me just reiterate how I use it on a day-to-day kind of basis, okay? So basically, this guitar, or normally my Kiesel, the wireless one, which is a Kiesel DC, and it's just a great guitar. This is always kind of on a stand somewhere near my desk. And then I'll be tracking normal guitar parts, you know, riffing, playing some stuff, and generally at some point, so for example, I have my normal, you know, this kind of guy. And I'll be playing, I'll be doing some leads and having fun, shredding away, and then at some point, I'll be like, it would be great if I had a chord pad in the background. Sometimes I do stuff for School of McRock, which is my school, my online guitar school, and I make backing tracks every week, a brand new backing track for the guys over there. And sometimes I want keyboard parts in the background, and I mean, I'm useless at playing keyboards. It's just not my thing. So even though I have synths and keyboards around the studio here, just being able to pick up another guitar and it seamlessly goes into Ableton, I can hit record, I can play my part, and it's done. It's like on to the next thing. So that's how I like to use TriplePlay in my workflow, and I like the fact that it just kind of, it was plug and play, real simple to set up. It tracks really nicely. There's been occasions where I've actually doubled lead lines where something like that, and I've doubled that up on a synth, and it's just been so quick to get that to double up, where if I was doing it another way where I was like trying to draw that in as MIDI or learn the parts on a keyboard, that would just be a nightmare for me. Yes, Tony, the Zeus is loose. Absolutely. So, yes, absolutely. No problem to record audio and MIDI at the same time. So you could literally have your normal jack-to-jack plugged into your audio interface and then record the MIDI at the same time. Not a problem. So, hey Thomas, it sounds amazing. Besides TriplePlay, what streaming software are you using? Well, that is also a great question because today, I mean, I set this stream up and, you know, obviously I've done some funky things where some of my instruments have been left on my other screen, but for the most part, I set this entire stream up with the help of my graphics guy in super quick time, and it's so flexible. And let me tell you about the software. So we're able to do, obviously, scene switching. I've got different screens in the background, so I can go from the wireless version right here to the TriplePlay Connect, bring in my Ableton sessions, go through the iPad, do all this fun stuff. And so we are using Ecamm Live to stream with today. So if you guys have not checked out Ecamm Live for streaming with, I highly suggest you do, because it changed everything for me. And I use it on a weekly basis on School of McRock, where I do a live masterclass with the guys over there. And we have an absolute blast. But the fact that we can do all this cool stuff, and it's also very, very simple to get it all down, I absolutely love it. So Ecamm Live definitely deserve a round of applause today. Very cool software. Almost as cool as Chuggin' and B with a low F sharp on it. So guys, this is not my usual stream where I really go on my guitar stuff, where I would break down all my guitars and Zeus and all that stuff. So, but this is Zeus with a 5-piece neck, a very thin body, has the Fishman Fluence Abassi pickups in this one, which I really, really dig. 5-way super switch, Poplar Burl top, and it's just an awesome guitar. I really dig that one. So, guys, I think we're pretty much there. I think we don't have any final questions from the guys over at Fishman that I can see. And if you guys are happy, then I'm happy. It's been fun. It's been a blast. I think we'll maybe do this again in the future. Maybe focus in specifically more on different aspects of the product. Today was a bit of an overview and some real-time jams and how I use it in my setup. Yeah, a lot of fun. And as Tony said, he does some great live sessions at School of McRock with how he sets up his tone. Highly recommend. Yeah. So if you guys want to check out School of McRock, you can do that right here. schoolofmcrock.com. We actually recently released a free guitar toolkit. So if you want to push your guitar playing to the next level, download the free guitar toolkit. It includes some really cool lessons, my free favorite exercises, a whole bunch of backing tracks, and in addition to that, you can check out the full version of the site. So, thanks for hanging out, everybody. Yeah, I think definitely we can. There's so much stuff that we can explore, right? So, as Jason has mentioned here, we'll be doing a digger dive into the TriplePlay software for Mac PC and the Kontakt iOS app. So, yeah, thanks, Peter. Appreciate that, and thanks everybody for hanging out. It's been an absolute blast, and yeah, that's awesome, guys. When I look over there, I am looking at all your lovely comments, and you guys have been great. So have a wonderful weekend, everybody, and I will catch you guys very soon. All right, take care, everybody. Bye.